Tim Judah. I'm here with Wolves reporter Tim Spiers. And Tim, we've been harsh on Wolves this season when they've been poor, but that was a tough one to take.
Yeah, very, very bitterly disappointing and harsh on Wolves. They were, they weren't excellent tonight, but they were more than deserving of a point against a very good Hull team with a very good home record. They've only lost once here all season. And Wolves, were good defensively after that early howler. They'd done more than enough to earn a draw. 93rd minute, perfect free kick was sickening, really. And
a much changed team as well for Wolves tonight.
Yeah. So we're expecting a couple of changes in the forward areas, but Danny Bart out through illness meant a bit of a reshuffle. So average age of 20, that back four, more than held their own. Dave Edwards back with a goal.
Yeah.
Good to see him back. He's been sorely missed since January. So there are a few positives here and there. Sigurd Larsson, I thought, did quite well up front as well. Held the ball up well. A couple of nice runs from deep. There's a decent player in there somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's cut and dry that he won't be offered a contract in the summer. I mean, Jackets clearly sees something in him. Some nice touches from him tonight, and he offers something that no other Wolves striker can. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him in the next few weeks.
But like you say, especially in that first half, they recovered so well from that howler and were excellent, really, weren't they, for most of the 45 minutes anyway?
Yeah, I mean, it was a real, God, this is going to be a long night sort of moment. It was a proper howler, the kind that they were making in the first half of the season. Uncharacteristically poor from Ikeme. It was a shocker, and in months gone by they would have folded like a pack of cards, but they didn't. Showed a lot of resoluteness. The back two did well. Iorfa and Hawes, know each other well, good mates. Certainly potential of a good pair in there. Well, I think they're both too young to be doing it next season on like a full-time basis, but still, it shows they can do it. Des Landes did well at left back, more than held his own before getting tired of cramp. They were quite enterprising going forward in that first half. Helan was probably gave certainly his best half in a Wolves shirt. I mean, he was given loads of room, but he certainly exploited it. A couple of great crosses, including one for the goal. They just couldn't take it on from there. I mean, we saw in the second half, that they'd get the ball in decent position in midfield and just wouldn't have kind of the pass or the run to kind of take it on from there, really. And that's been Wolves pretty much most of the season. But certainly recent weeks.
I mean, they're playing against a top team. You expect an onslaught second half, but it never really came, did it? They stifled them quite well. It was much of a muchness.
Yeah, they stifled them well. Hull were poor. I mean, Steve Bruce has admitted that. He said that they weren't good enough tonight. They certainly don't look like a Premier League team and waiting, do they? It kind of descended into a bit of a nothing game in that second half. But like I said, considering the age of Wolves team, considering the players that they've still got out injured, it was a pretty positive performance. Like I said, they more than earned their point. I mean, it's another defeat. It's another defeat. It's the first one in a little while since Middlesbrough away. But they didn't look like a bad team. And there's only a few occasions this season that they've looked like a bad team.
Yeah.
They've been hugely unlucky with injuries. Once they make a couple of signings in the summer and get some of those forward players back, there's certainly the potential there. I mean, as Kenny keeps saying, it's whether your glass is half empty or half full, really. But with a young team, you expect them to improve next season. Nights like this, as hard as they are to take now, they're character building. So you hope that they can learn from them and come back stronger next season, because there is a good team in there somewhere. It's whether they've got the character and the coaching and the management to bring it out.
4 games to go between now and the end of the season. Do we expect now they can't go down, they definitely can't go up, for them to see a bit more youth?
More than's already in there?
Yeah, any more to come.
Been doing it all season, hasn't he? Brighton Bakari got on again tonight. I would have thought Connor Hunt would have started on left midfield if Des Landes wasn't at left back tonight, because you can't have 2 teenagers down that left side.
Yeah.
So I think because they had to have the defensive reshuffle, otherwise Hunt might have played. But yeah, I'd like to see him start, see what he can do. I'd like to see Bakari start, see what he can do. And I think Leeds away and Rotherham at home, we're far more likely to see some experimentation rather than tonight against a very good Hull team, admittedly in a poor run of form. But if you chuck a load of teenagers in and they get absolutely spanked, then that's damaging in the long term potentially as well. So yeah, I'd certainly hope so in the next 3 or 4 games, and see yet more of that potential that we keep hearing about.
Just a quick word for these travelling Wolves fans tonight. Obviously, the second Friday night in a month and a bit of Sky Live and 3-hour plus journey there and back. I mean, you can't knock that, can you? Fantastic.
No, God, no. I salute them all. Heroes, every single one of them, and they're sang their hearts out as well tonight.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily loud because there wasn't many of them, but they were singing all night. I was keeping my eye on them. Fantastic support. They've taken so many knocks this season, but they keep coming back in their numbers. A horrendous night. Feels like the middle of winter.
Just freezing.
Rainy in Hull. Friday night on the telly. If you're going to come out, you've got to say you're a proper fan.
Yeah. Tough one for Wolves to take tonight, but for all the post-match reaction on this one, make sure you log on to expressandstyle.com.